the biggest aspect that majority of these people have done is just filling up the potholes, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really count to anything, because as I speak right now, I remember we had something which was going on Twitter this year, I guess, about the pothole exhibition, Kampala pothole exhibition.
Yeah.
You know, and now people have reached a point and they seem to have given up. They're like, anyway, do what you want, you know, but how is this going to really continue? And how is it really going to affect us? You know, that is something that we need to also put into absolute consideration when it comes to, you know, infrastructure,
Transport.
you know, because communication, you know, transport is part of the communication aspect. It's very, very vital, you know. When we are looking at the men that built America, we realized that the first investor that came out to be very outstanding, that is after the War of Independence, after the nation was in absolute shambles, was to establish railway lines, you know, that was Vanderbilt. So you get to realize that it's, you know, and this was meant to unify people, because the war had left the people scattered, and now forming up the railways was one of the ways to actually bring some sort of harmony to the people, you know, and enhance trade among us there, you know, despite the fact, because from there we had oil, and oil had to be transported. So transport is very key. So the state of the transport in Uganda is still really quite worrying. Most especially, it's much more worse when it comes to the city center.
Yes,
you know,
it's actually
the capital city.
The situation is actually not too worrying. It's very bad. It's very bad, and of course, you see, KCC was given some amount of money.
Yeah, about 4 billion.
I thought by
before
now,
the budget.
By now, I think we could have seen.
But 4 billion is also not enough to.
It is not enough, but it could work on a few. Work on them and first clear off everything and start afresh. When you fill in the potholes, eventually they will go back.
Because they have already gone back, and that is what is happening. And they are also responsible for the congestion. You know, majority of the people are trying to dodge the holes, and I mean, nobody wants to get, and before you know it, you're all competing for one small piece of space. And well, congestion is inevitable in that. So it is something, most especially when we go to the industrial area, 8th Street, 6th Street, okay, they are the most famous one. Of course, there are way more areas which can, if you go to, they call it Kubiri, Mulago, that side, man, it's just really known as the best.
Let's put it, all the roads are really devastating. They're in a very bad manner. So definitely, I mean, people are opting for easier means of transport, borders, because now if the time people spend on traffic trying to dodge the road, Sao Paulo going to YC, that road around there, it is narrow. The roads, the cars are squeezing themselves. They're trying to dodge potholes, and the borders are also trying to dodge potholes
at the same time.
In that, if you've been around that place, you are praying for not to get knocked or bump into some car or something. So really, we're really in need of good,
intervention.
If we have good road infrastructure, we're going to have a lot of people coming in to support us. Even like the fact that we are trying to, push for tourism. No one would want to come in a place where they have to be jumping every time, dodging potholes, and it's very funny, really. And of course, people have had complaints about people coming in, like tourists, and they're like, oh, the roads, oh, the dust. If you hear such.
Of course, the dust is understandable, but that is a little bit inevitable, most especially for the far ends of the country. And actually, some tour areas. Why do you put a tarmac road in the game park? Of course, it has to be
not that.
But you know that the routes that actually are heading towards those areas are good.
They are good, some.
The biggest issue is within the urban centers.
They're not developed.
If you go to Masaka town,
Masaka is
still
okay somehow.
No, okay, maybe for the times I've been there, it's maybe they just changed recently, but for the last time I was there, not the best. You know, but when you take a look at highways which head to those far end areas, they are really okay. They're really fine. But at least we need to ensure even distribution. The other time we had the CEO of Safe Border, Ricky, mentioning something where he say, why is it that the route that ends to my place is tarmacked? Then after just that, I mean, my neighbor, I mean, the neighboring people in the next suburb probably there, it's Mara, and you know, even if it's tarmac, but there are quite lots of potholes. And is it supposed to be that way? That was the ultimate question that he was trying to really ask himself. Is it supposed to be that way? You know, why my neighbor tarmac, then after that it's Mara? I mean, and even distribution as a result of that. But anyway, let us see. It's a new financial year, just in the first month, we're concluding the first month. But of course, we shall be doing follow-ups implementation, because infrastructure is really foundational to a country's development. Well, as we come to the end of this, don't forget the markets on the Zabo platform are already on as I speak right now. And to be a part of them, it's quite very simple. Step 292 hash is the code which will avail you with the options to be in position to trade these bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now the markets opened at 8:15 and they will be closing at 3:15 p.m. And this is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays when these markets can't be accessed. So Zabo made this a reality regardless of where you're located. Star 292 hash should simply be the code for you. And of course, you have to register with your national identification number. Zabo says my money, my future. And All Tech East Africa says do something new. It's the year 2023. Break. Of course, when I return, we shall be taking a look at what's happening into the world of entertainment. Stick around.